Today is January 20th, 2025. Okay. Well, today, and people in Walmart 62 don't say a word to it. We all realize the people that were doing it were from that drug cartel in Florida where that retired judge went to jail, and those people and those arrests, the people up here that didn't get arrested. Absolutely. Where they told people they were drug traders from Florida, human traffickers from Florida, worked for retired Judge Pete, the Lauren, the Michelle, the Henry Mojave, the ones that impersonated the FBI at Faith Family Church. Huh? Yeah. The Kingsmen from Texas, where we all work for the King from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. Look him up. He's U.S. military Iraqi translator. Went into the dark web, malware, fentanyl king. That's why the Muslim women showed up, the Middle Eastern men. If you look where they said they were drug traders and human traffickers from Florida, in Belden Village, they told people they were relocating people to Florida to a resort area. Okay. Special order girls, 135, blonde girls, 5'3". Okay. For special orders. Then they were profiling people if they had bad habits, how much they weighed, da 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 da. Then in Maslin, when they were there, they were said some doctor was running experiments on people. Okay. If you look up who is Judge Peter from Florida, he's a human trafficking judge. He and over 100 people went to jail, including people from Disney, the resort area. Okay. And they had a pipeline of people they were selling between Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. That's why they were here. They were scouting for people to sell. Okay. All right. Now, the thought of former retired FBI agent John dating Michelle or Lauren from the Florida human traffickers. Okay. Came in December 18th, 24, Walmart 62. And I told you before that now I've never talked to him in person, only on the phone. Don't know what he looked like. I only realized it was him by what he was saying. And then the cops verified it that worked my case. It was him. Before those two walk in, two other guys walk in, I'm shopping, roll out. They said she had charges. Somebody else said it's just the drug cartel. Okay. And we had someone call up to the Ravenna courthouse. There's nothing against her. They said it is just the drug cartel. Okay. And then those other two guys come in so loud I look up. Karen really didn't know who Michelle was till January, February 19th. No, I made sure of it until she showed up and announced herself. She didn't know who she was. Well, she told me that she threatened her, and because she threatened her, I told them I didn't care what they did to her. And she didn't even know who she was. No, I made sure of it. I told that drug dealer, that bat, no one would want her after everything he had done to her, to leave her alone. Her Karen's getting remarried. I knew she had it in her. Well, the agent that told on me after I called the hotline had told Apostolic Church of Barberton they were complaining about it. He knows she's being drugged, being raped, and he said he didn't care. And then they say strangest lie of calm. Mia Faker. Okay, when it was a medication error medical malpractice, he was just trying to cover up. He thought I was following his son Tim with this girl named Katie. Here it was my sister that's married to his son, following her husband that's cheating on him. They thought it was me, and he had to make up a baby lie and get rid of me. 6 months after a traffic accident I had nothing to do with, I had went through 6 to 10 surgeries, all my muscles locked up because I had so much trauma to my stomach and back. Went to a bunch of crackpots. They falsely diagnosed me as well from my feet to my brain. Thyroid, adrenal gland shut down, went into many heart attacks, seizures. I have so much swelling on my body. My knees are popping out of place. Going to orthopedic doctors. They're draining them almost every month, if not every other month. And then put steroids under them. I almost died. And they gave me canes and braces trying to walk. And they were lying so bad they said I had level 2 brain tumors, pituitary tumors. And they wanted to remove part of my brain. Before I let them cut into my brain, I go to all my family physicians. They're like, whoa. Those doctors are known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, and doing unnecessary procedures. It's the medicine making you sick. Okay? You have the golden ticket insurance company. They're just ripping you off. And you need to get an attorney and sue them, turn them over to the state, pull their license. And I went to Dr. Eli, and he agreed, put me on fentanyl patches for the pain because my muscles were locked, muscle relaxers. And over 9 months, I learned to walk again on numb feet. And as the swelling went down, and I got off the medication, the seizures stopped, the heart attacks stopped, my thyroid, adrenal gland started working again, and the massive amount of swelling slowly went down. Started in November of 2002. By April of 2003, I'm almost well. May 3rd, 2003, we're all at home. There was a church baseball game, but we were replacing some of the carpets in the bedroom, so we kept the boys home to help Dave. Okay. Brian Laney showed up and told us where the church baseball game was. There's a bunch of church people following them, and they were one of the late cars, and they couldn't believe Phil didn't even try to stop. Flew right through that stop sign into a semi, killed him and Tyler both. Okay, that's May 3rd, 2003. Come July, I got well. On November of 2003, my sister was out, and she seen her husband Tim with Katie. So when he went to leave, she started following him. She got caught. They thought it was me. She came up to me on a Wednesday night and said, I was following them again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. Well, Strange made up that baby lie. Oh, you were faking through all that. It was like a 4 or 5 year thing. Dave even told him it was a medication error. Okay? Back in November of 2002, he just needed to get rid of me real quick. Made up a baby lie. 6 months later, after a traffic accident I had nothing to do with, and him calling me a faker had nothing to do with her father running a stop sign. It's January. If someone gets killed in January, come July or August, somebody calls somebody a faker, does that have anything to do with somebody running a stop sign in January? No, they're not even connected. And then it takes a moron to fall for that. A moron. Everybody been rooting me on. I was pulling myself up and down streets, malls, stores, doing my own grocery shopping, pulling myself around stores, working out like crazy. Went from a 24 to a 16 by April. And was even smaller time I got well. I worked my ass off to get well. Okay? And he had told Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew I was being drug, being raped. Didn't care. Because the strangest baby lie that was 15 years old by then didn't even go to church with those people. They had to hunt me down. I even moved 35 miles away, and they had to hunt me down. Had nothing to do with them. I want you to think about that. All right? And it's 15 years later. Okay? then they said, if he's that agent, or where they said he knows she's being drugged, being raped, and he said he didn't care, and he said, strangest baby lie. Okay. And then he said, they said, he also said, if she was going to be mean to women, he didn't care what they did to her. He was going to turn her back over to him. Can you imagine an agent saying that? Dave comes in, let's go. FBI agent John told Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew I was being drugged, being raped. Didn't care. A federal police officer. And he even told him he was going to defraud me before he talked to me. Dave told people that he talked to that agent when I walked off as Paymer when we walked in. And my God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off. Women walk up and they start saying that about him knowing that I was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care. Okay? Paymer's still screaming at him. I go in, I sit down, they finish saying that. Okay. Dave told people he talked to that agent at that church, and that's where he met him. That he had hired Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men in my home before. Okay? He met some FBI agent up at that church. When she called the FBI hotline for help, some agent showed up. He didn't even know who he was. So that agent lied that I threatened his daughter. I didn't even know who the hell he was. So how the hell would I know who his daughter is when Dave didn't even know who he was? And December 9th, 18, I taped Dave that I never caught him with anyone. Ever. So there was no one to be mean to and nobody to threaten. It was already debunked in 18. So those two guys walk in and say that about she didn't know who Michelle was till January, February 19. No, I made sure of it, but she told me she threatened her. And if she was going to threaten her, I didn't care what they did to her. And how he's in it with the drug dealers making bets. He's in it with the drug cartel. Okay. January, February 19, where on Thanksgiving of 18, John's kids were playing in the basement, boo. And when I went to go back up, they said they wanted the house for Auntie Shaw and Papa and Grandma need to get out. And I look down there in the huddle, and they're saying crazy crap. Go up and sit by Dixie. Flora comes up, my other granddaughter, and said they're saying mean things in the basement. She's like, stay out of it. So I go up to John, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. I told Melissa, which was his ex-wife, you're going through a divorce, you're going to be moving out. She'll just have the kids make up something. Don't worry about it. Nobody could say anything bad about you. She'll have her church people make up something too, but don't worry about it. Nobody could say anything bad about you. And I said, well, you shouldn't have said anything. Time moved out or we went through a divorce. Well, I did. And since nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. And then he like shoos me. Okay. Then I go to Dave just to clarify everything. I've never hurt anyone. He said, Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids, you would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. We talk about Melissa having the kids lie because of the divorce, okay, and all kinds of stuff. And I tape him in the police tape for the FBI case. Okay. January, when they said Auntie Shell, the only Michelle I knew connected to any of those churches was a Michelle Cowgill. She was a heavy-set 50-year-old woman, and her first husband, she was so mean to him, it was ridiculous. I figure if you're going to try to kill me for that mean girl, it's serve you right to get her. She'll be mean to you. You know what I mean? It's serve you right to get something like that. Okay? And that's who I thought it was. Even when I was alone, I told the cops that I was at Michelle Cowgill. Because it's the only one I knew. Okay? I go into Faith Family Church January, February 19. A bunch of teenagers come in. They're loud. Michelle's a normal name. Didn't think anything of it. Then all of a sudden she starts screaming out, I'm the one that dates Dave. And I look back, she's pointing at me. I'm the one that dates her husband. I'm like, you. I thought it was Michelle Cowgill. It's like being sideswiped. Look back, it's like you don't look 18. look at her. And I look back and it's like, you don't look 100 pounds. You look homeless and like a teenage prostitute. Okay? And I'm like you. Like the cop said, we watched Karen's face. She didn't believe a word out of that girl's mouth. And then she's saying how she can have anybody drug, beat, and rape. She just had to ask those guys. Okay? It's like you're crazy and dangerous. And where they call the drug cartel the boys. She was talking about spending the night with the boys and she had some guy's clothes on. That's why she looks so bad. You're sleeping with other men and you're dating my husband? I don't think so. I go to leave and the undercover police walk around me. They trying to set up her husband for going out with an underage prostitute. I thought, oh yeah, that's what I thought. She don't look legal. Was she 15, 16? I thought, yeah, that's what I thought. One cop said I picked her at 14. I thought, yeah, that's what I thought. 14, 16, 90 pounds. He's 60. That would have been statutory rape. I didn't believe her. She was with the Florida human traffickers that were impersonating the FBI. She even admitted herself she was watching all of us in the bathroom use the bathroom, including me. She admitted she was watching me in the bathroom. And she was part of the people taping in the bathroom, the ones that said they were selling kiddie porn on my grandkid's school potty. In front of the cops, how she was watching me go to the toilet. I'm OCD, okay? I had went to the bathroom, stood up, and I would wear like business dresses and cardigans and hose and heels. Dave always wanted me pristine. And then I had worked in loan companies and banks, so dressing business professional was a normal for me. And then with apostolic churches, they expect you to dress very nice. Okay. So when I turned around to flush the toilet, my sleeve fell down. I pushed it up. Most people wouldn't think anything. I would go wash your hands and maybe up to your arm and then up on your arms and then go on to church. But I'm OCD, so I took the sweater off, washed my arms up to my elbows. Okay. Went and picked out two different sweaters, got the best one, put the other one in the washer, went to church. I go in and she's like, I told you she has a pea sweater on. She didn't wipe, she touched her hands with her sweater with pee on it. She was lying. But she admitted to watching me in the bathroom and then she tried to twist it. I'm like, oh my God, you sick pervert. Part of the shower scene in the other room, people laughing at people for falling for it. I thought she was a prostitute for the drug cartel. She told everybody she was Agent Wells' daughter, then retired Judge Pete's daughter. Okay, I didn't believe her at all. But she would hold court there and brag to people, sell the login to the case. She was part of selling the government technology. Okay. All right. And you do realize, FBI agent John, where you're supposed to be dating the Lauren and Michelle that rides with them, that they are selling people, drug traders, you're in it with drug dealers, hurting people. You do realize they're only using you, right, for your stupidity. Does that, where you're supposed to be dating one of them, they don't really like you. None of them do. You do realize that, right? You're like one of those stupid kids somebody manipulates into hurting or killing somebody, and they just use that person. You really do know that, right? Because did that girl like you for your looks, your personality, of how good and kind you are to other people? You're a good part of what you do for the community? Did she like you for your religious values? No. Gee, you had to steal from my case and give it to her drug cartel and pay her to date you. sell government technology and help them get away with murder here. So what are they doing? They're using your stupid dumb ass. They don't care about you. They're manipulating you for your stupidity. Because did she date you if you didn't give her anything? You didn't help out? Did she date you just for you? Nope. And if you really needed someone to date, dear God, you could have came to me. I know people. I know this one RN nurse. She looks like a Greek goddess. Size 0 looks like a Greek goddess. And if she's single again, she looks like a Greek goddess. Oh, and she has a lot of RN nurses friends. I know people that are single, that have careers, that are good people. Which also know people that we could have found you somebody. You didn't have to turn to a life of crime. You're not really that pathetic, are you? Because that girl does not love you. She's only using you. And I can't believe you would fall for something like that. Now, these people are so stupid. There's some guy here investigating. I was at the mall the other day with Carl. Okay. Some guy walks by his Karen happy. Yes, good. I'm down here investigating to find out what on earth is going on here. Those churches, and they were talking about that using that excuse of that lie. 6 months later, had nothing to do with those other people, and then waiting years and having people harm her. How evil those churches are here. Oh yeah, they're actually having people harmed and killed. Yeah, they're pure evil. They should have been arrested the first day by federal law. Okay? By federal law, they were to be arrested. Okay? All right. And some rogue retired agent is out stealing from the government. Oh, sure, he is selling government technology to the drug cartels. It was on Google. A CIA agent got arrested for selling government technology to another country. See, once they get so high, they think they're invincible. And then they try something stupid, and then they go to jail. It's just happening in our backyard now. Okay? And that guy said, my men listened to her scream through the car speakers when that dog bit her, how bad it was. And then she got back in and they could see all those dog bites on her. What is wrong with these people running around saying stuff to her? What is it? You know, I have a police officer assigned to me every day for the protected custody case. They heard me scream. Huh? Had a document that an FBI case that he opened that I got bit up real bad by a German Shepherd mix. And then pictures of the bites. And then the hospital report. And the location where it happened. So what are you doing? These people, do you know how stupid and ignorant people they are? Now, okay, I went to the doctor about a week ago. The doctor, I hadn't seen her yet, and she asked me, you were hit in your stomach really hard several times before? I said, well, yeah, I was beat real bad. I was telling her how I was chicken winged and knocked on wood railing and punched several times. I think I went into the whole thing, I'm not for sure. But I said, yeah, my ex-husband beat me in my stomach really bad, punched me several times. She said, well, you have diverticulitis, real bad, big pouching in your intestines. And we figure that's what caused it, was being punched in your stomach real hard. He could have ruptured my intestines. He damaged the cartilage in my rib when I hit the wood railing. He chicken winged my arm. He beat me in my stomach. And then other times during the FBI case, I'd wake up and he had just smacked me as hard as he could in my stomach and leave embedded handprints that were there for over a week or more. All right. Now, I was abused like hell. I have permanent inflammation from that beating on the stairs. I had almost been shot in the head driving. I had stalkers showing up. People are laughing in my face, how they had drugged me and told me to say stuff. I'm waking up with more injection marks, losing weight like crazy. Okay? I found out if the church people and Dave did not know where I was. There were all bad people that have men come at me and the cops would have to chase them off. If he didn't know and they didn't know where I was safer. I started turning off my phone. I just started turning off my phone. I came home and he was so angry. I'm walking away. How dare you pull that crap and not answer your phone? And I'm walking up the steps and he grabs me by my arm. He chicken wings it, turns me around, knocks me into a wood railing, damaging the cartilage in my rib, and then took both fists and kept punching me in the stomach. You try that crap again, I'll have Harold Strange's men bring you back and stab you in the heart. You hear me? At that point, I just looked at him. I said, then just do it. And walk off. I ended up in the hospital within a few days. My intestines started to swell. I was in so much pain. They had to mix Novocaine with a bunch of other drugs to have me swallow it to numb my intestines. Some idiots had showed up and they wanted to keep me quiet from him beating me. And we had to do a change of address in the emergency room. And I go to sit down. They stand up. Did she say anything stupid? It's like, no, it's just an address change. Trying to keep me quiet. I get in the back and the doctor's looking at me. He's looking over at Dave. And he's looking at me. He goes to walk out and some guy's outside the room. I want to talk to her about the threats on her life. Doctor said she's not talking to anyone. Do you hear me? You don't realize what has just happened. And she's not talking to anybody. I thought, who the hell are you? Because no one's allowed to talk to me. Got a problem, you go to Officer Mark or John. And they'll tell you to mind your own damn business. Or one of my guys. Won't be the first time. And they will tell you she's an informant. And no one talks to her. You hear me? Got a problem, you can go to them. So I don't know who was in there, but the doctor wouldn't even let him near me. I was injured so bad. I ended up getting my stomach scoped, and I have permanent inflammation in my stomach. So when that dog bit me, it bit me. I had this one client, I would take her shopping. She had a mean dog. She knew not to let it out when we're there. Her son had said it bit a family member, but then really downplayed it. That it just left teeth marks or a small bruise, nothing horrible. Yeah, right. It's a big, mean German Shepherd. She knew not to let it out. I had came home, picked up my boyfriend. He had asked me to marry him the month before. So I was like on this wedding high. Couldn't wait to get home from work, come home, pick him up, and we were going to go out to eat. And I touched my scrubs. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I still have her reading glasses. I have to go out to the bank and it's by her house. Do you care if we swing by and I'll just lay it on her front porch? Oh, I don't care. I said, well, wait here in the car. And I go walking up. I have the eyeglasses in my hand and I see her at the door. And I said, I got your eyeglasses. She goes to open the door. I'm like, don't open the door. And the dog's there. And then she goes to open again. I'm like, don't open the door. The dog's there. And then she just swings it open and runs out. I have 2 shirts on, a lightweight jacket, and I used to smoke, so now I chew nicotine gum, and I had tissues in my pocket. My bad habits saved me. It bit through all that into my stomach, left teeth marks, full print of teeth marks through all that. I'm screaming. It bites me again and pulls. I scream. It lunges for my face, and I put my arm up, and it bit my arm. It bit my arm again, and I'm blocking my face. It pulls over here, and there's like tear marks. I got holes in my. I'm screaming, and it finally lunges onto my arm, and it won't let go. And I'm screaming, "Get it off me! It's hurting me!" And she finally walks over and starts pulling it down. I had to reach over and pull it off the collar to pull it off, and she got a hold of it. I'm doubled over and walking back to the car. I was so mad at my boyfriend. He's sitting in the car screaming. Oh my God, oh my God. He froze and just screamed. Okay. I called my boss and he said, well, it just bit another caretaker like 2 weeks ago. He didn't tell me. I wouldn't have dropped off the glasses. I didn't even plan on seeing her. I was just trying to be nice because I wouldn't see her for a week. Okay. And one of the neighbors, right before we pull up, walked out and went, oh, I thought you were one of our friends. I looked out and seen you sitting in a car. And I'm like, no. And Carl's like, we got to get you to a hospital. I said, I know. And I pull out. I go straight to the emergency room. I had to have a tetanus shot. I had to be on antibiotics for 10 days because dogs have bacteria in their teeth. Okay. And it can cause severe infections. That I keep checking the bite marks, make sure I didn't get infection under my skin. Okay. Well, within a few days, I started getting this feeling of severe needles in my stomach, piercing me. My legs going up. I go back in the doctor. I am in so much pain, I can't stand it. They said, well, you've got nerve damage where it pulled. And I mean, I was literally pooping out blood. And I said, my intestines are bleeding. They said, well, those swollen, damaged intestines, it's lenched into them. And the pressure, I'd have a CAT scan on my stomach. It didn't rip anything inside, but where it clenched down on it, it made it bleed. Okay? As long as it doesn't bleed too bad, you'll be okay. Well, all that swelling from those injuries, I would go to eat and I would go to throw up. I couldn't take more than a couple bites. I later on called it diet bite, dog bite. Makes you too much pain to even eat. My doctor said with your inflammation and then the pocketing in your intestines and then that dog bite clenching down, and you got swelling from that now. Do not let yourself get constipated, whatever you do. Put me on like Miralax. You don't go to the bathroom within a day or two. Mild laxative. You keep your system going. Because the worst thing you need is an infection in those intestines. And you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So keep your system moving. So over the last 2.5 months, I mean, it was so bad I could try to go to the bathroom and I'd be in so much pain. I'd have to have my boyfriend get me a ice pack. I'd be sweating, wanting to vomit. I was in so much pain. I had to lay down. Only thing that stopped the pain was the muscle relaxers and putting ice on my stomach. Okay? And I was told I can't, where do home health care, I can't lift the weight of a human being again because of the damage it did to my stomach. Now that it's pulled on muscle, I lost my other job because I can take care of people, but I can't lift on them anymore. It cost me my job. These idiot people are so sick and morbid. Now, a lot of times I eat soup. I can get more in me. My boyfriend likes to go out to eat, and sometimes he likes buffets, and so I try to just get a little bit of food and then just eat even a third of it. Sometimes I get in so much pain we'll have to come home. I try to tell him I don't want to eat till right before we come home because it hurts. And the only thing that helps is laying down with ice on it and a muscle relaxer. So I'm trying to eat. I've lost over about 10, 11 pounds. They have people show up. We're going to try to prove there's nothing wrong with her. We're to find out how much she eats. You're so pathetic. You have to stalk somebody you don't know with this many injuries to watch how much I eat because you're that pathetic. What is wrong with you? Go get psychological help. Go get psychological help. Seriously, go get help. Go get help. I went to the doctor, and this one doctor was examining my stomach. I said, where that dog bit you, you can feel the scar tissue under your skin. And there's probably swelling pushing in on those damaged intestines. That's what's causing havoc in your stomach. The old saying, no good deed goes unpunished. Yeah, well, I lost a good paying job. But that guy that said he's here investigating, where you said you're having your men listen to through the speakers in my car. Oh, FBI case. Starr County Courthouse. I told you the guy showed up and threatened to knife me September 21st, 2018. Took a day or two of parade. And it was the hardest emotional decision to report Dave. It was on one of the hardest phone calls I've ever made. I actually loved him with all my heart. And to realize the attempts on my life was him and his church. And now people are showing back up, threatening my life, and they're being so arrogant. They're threatening me, leaving threats in the mall that have been them. If I don't call someone, I'll die. And I was married 33 years, and I loved him. And as soon as I picked up that phone, I could never forgive him for anything ever again. Could never let myself love him, or I'll die. He'll set me up and I'll die. And then I had to find time alone where I could call the hotline, pour my heart out. And I told you the next day they had drugged me up so bad I couldn't answer the phone. And let the phones ring and let it go to voicemail. Wake up later, had to stagger to the bathroom, refrigerator, got back in bed. Listen to it, this is Agent da-da-da, call me back. And I was falling back to sleep, I can't. Second day, not much better. Third day, made myself get up, got enough air in my face, cleared my head enough. Called one of my witnesses. I gave the hotline. They agreed to witness for me, went out and bought a card, put that agent's number from the voicemail. And it dropped it off at the mall, went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton, and he was up there telling on me before he talked to me. It's documented, verified by the police. The agent that returned my phone call from the FBI hotline is the one that told on me for calling the FBI before he talked to me. Real case was open the next day. He admitted on a recorded line. He told on me, and he laughed at me, and he was acting like he was aiding and abetting them, that he didn't blame him for trying to kill me for strangers. And a recorded line confessed several times. He told on me, foreman and foreman. Made me beg for my life, made fun of me for some guy named Pete, and I don't even know who he's talking about. And what he's talking about, here's some drug dealer running a drug scam on me, a drug confession. It's the reason why I had bruises on me, throwing up, almost passing out, and severe and personal infection. Some drug dealer my husband had hired on his own to run a drug scam. Photoshopping of showering, I heard, and date rape drug confessions. They're fake sodium pentothal reports. He makes fun of me for that they've hired on his own to harm me. And I have never met him. It was just like, what on earth are you talking about? I've never met him. How would you like to take a drink out of a drink in the room, go to see him black? Wake up hours later, bruises, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out, and a severe personal infection. Wake up with injection marks and more. And the only thing new to you is you're showering in dirty hot water. And I'm thinking it's giving me cancer. And I kept telling the doctor that I lost 18 pounds in 2 months. Like they said when the case first started, Karen's ex-husband had her so drugged up there, they were drug beating, raping her, and she wasn't realizing what was happening. And they said it was some guy, some judge up there messed up in the drug cartel. They wanted his connection. Find out it's just some guy saying he's a judge. The one in Ohio. The real judge was down in Florida. Because we're drug traders that are human traffickers from Florida. And we work for Judge Peter. It's Peters. Or Judge Pete. But they were from Florida. Okay. But you gotta think about it. Him making fun of me for some drug dealer running a scam on me like that and laughing at me. The police told me after, it's also documented in the case within the first month or two, they said those agents that were so mean to you on the phone wanted to make sure you weren't part of these people defrauding them. They knew that the weird with yourself was photoshopped. And they knew they had drugged you and told you to say it before. And they wanted to make sure you weren't part of that scam. And the reason why they started laughing during it, they couldn't believe somebody would actually pull some kind of scam like that on them. They couldn't even keep it together when they were talking to you. That's why they're laughing so hard. But they told us they even knew it was photoshopped and drugged. And they were just being mean to you to make sure you weren't part of it. Them beat these people trying to defraud them. You can look up the case. They documented it. Those agents told them before the case started. They knew it was fraud. Okay. That agent did open a real protected custody, threat of life, and attempt of life case for an FBI informant with statements. And it does have the recorded line of him saying all that crap. Okay. And it's in the Stark County Courthouse. So if the guy threatened to knife me September 21st, 18, give it a couple days to go from September 23rd of 18. It should be the call to the hotline. You gotta give me a few days before I call them, then 4 days for him to me to return his phone call before he actually talks to me. to go to like October 2nd of 2018, about a 10-day period. You know, that's when the case started. Go to the FBI Drug and Task Force in Stark County Courthouse. My original file should be there with the recorded line. If there is not a card where he said he loaded my money on it in my file where I never showed up and picked up my card, he did steal it where they said he stole my money for the drug cartel. Sheriff David Mike DeWine's cousin said if he didn't pay me, he's been stealing from cases for a while if they could actually go back through them. He's too arrogant with you. Because he can't tell people they can't say anything because of the freedom of speech. It takes a judge to put a gag order on you. Police officers don't, and agents or police officers, they don't have that kind of authority. It takes a judge. Nobody can take your rights away. Only a judge can place a gag order on you. I said, but I told everybody here, I already told him, he can tell you. You can say whatever you want, and he can't say a word. Criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, police department. And he can't make up restrictions. He does not have the authority to. He cannot withhold money, can't misdirect it. And these people lie so much where he even said if you tried to tell someone, after he confessed, he talked to everyone, told on me, laughs at me like a jackass. Okay? And he seems like a crazy nut on the phone. Made me beg for my lifeless man for money and immunity. And then if you try to tell somebody, the FBI won't help you. You try to change it that no one could help me. That's not what he said. And he doesn't even have the right. Like even the police I talked to, the criminal attorney prosecutor's office, he can't tell anybody they can't help you. You cannot withhold protection, 14th Amendment. Nobody can be in your home but protected by cases with statements and a quarter. 4th Amendment. Nobody can drug you. You have a right to remain quiet. 5th. You have a right to an attorney. People cannot just go around harming you and exploiting you and make money off you. And you don't get in trouble for being victimized. And illegal monitoring, cyber stalking, and sextortion are federal crimes, let alone racketeering of drug confessions, beating, raping someone, trying to get them in trouble. Those are federal crimes. And hiring Pete on his own to harm me, him and his men, is hiring hitmen. And to cover up attempted murder. Do you realize they walked in to an FBI agent's office and confessed to a federal police officer they were trying to kill someone? And then made up a shitty lie of calling somebody a faker. And they had confessed to a federal cop they tried to have me killed. And he didn't arrest him. Conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. Drugging somebody, illegal monitoring, all these are federal crimes. Having somebody beaten, raped, human trafficked out of a house. Let alone the kiddie porn they sold to my grandkids won't body you. And he didn't arrest them. No, he laughed at the victims. Someone needs to stop him. He's not the first federal agent that sold government technology. He's not the first one that stole from cases. He's just the first one in this area. Our police need to get him. But, sir, the one that's investigating, go down to the courthouse. There's a rope. The Stark County Sheriff's Office. Watch me. There's a court order. Unlike the prosecutor's office, it can't be closed. He said, Karen, you don't realize you're in one of the many witness protection programs. Your formats are different. You stay yourself, you feed them information. It's like working as a civilian spy, okay? Basically. You risk your life to get these people, get the government information on these people. they owe you the rest of your life. You get the money the rest of your life for risking your life to get them information. You stay in immunity for life. And you can tell whoever you want. That agent can't say a word. He can't make up his own restrictions. He can't tell you that you can't say anything. The police know that. Takes a judge due to the freedom of speech. I said, well, he already confessed. He told on me for calling for help. He said he can't tell on you for calling for help. You can tell whoever you want to and who you feel comfortable telling, and he can't say a word. And then what these people did is a big fraud scheme. Photoshopping, washing, and drugging somebody for fake confessions is a big fraud scheme. And then he said, you get the money for the rest of your life. He can't put restrictions on it. No judge could sign it. He can only sign by how the law writes. The law writes that he can only put up money immunity for working the case. Found out they can add living, housing expenses and a medical card. That's it. And it's for risking your life to get them information. He cannot withhold protection. 14th Amendment, you cannot seize somebody's money by due process of law. You have to be found guilty and sued for it. And he said he can tell because it is a protected custody case with threat of life and attempted life, and these people actually tried to kill you. Until the FBI puts you in another witness protection program, you'll stay an informant for life. You can't get out. And the Department of Justice would arrest him. They fed me to the drug cartel, where the police told me, you need to be proud of what you lived through. Because of what you lived through, we got all this information on these people. You helped save a lot of lives. You need to be proud. My neighbor went down to the U.S. Marshals because he's seen the drug cartel at Faith Family Church impersonate the FBI. Met one of the guys. Because it was legal police surveillance with a court order, they had where that guy said he was listening through the car speakers. People have confessed to all kinds of crimes, including framing me, drugging me, telling me to say it before, photoshopping a shower scene in the other room. Repeatedly, my phone's bugged. You ever watch FBI on TV where they look through your phone and you're not even on it? My homes have been bugged, and I have undercover police around me. You know, in January, before I move on, they hadn't even mentioned the way the case that agent opened, the way he opened it, because it's a protected custody case with statements and a court order. The evidence they got, they don't even need her, because it was police surveillance with the court order. Stands up in court without her. U.S. Marshals been using it, employing the hell out of the drug cartels, and finding children they took. Part of the Florida human traffickers that worked for that Judge Peters that was helping sell people from Florida through Louisiana to Texas. And 100 of his people went to jail. They all said they worked for him, from that Lauren Michelle, the big truck guys. Okay? They're still here. The ones that didn't get arrested, that were scouring for other people, when they all got arrested in 22, they stayed up here. They need to finish getting the rest of them. Alright. And now totally changing the subject. In February 19, I went in Macy's in Belden Village. There was some African American men there. And they looked at me, is that the one you're talking about? He said, yes. He said, they said that agent wouldn't help her because she has a little Hebrew blood in her. They asked me if I cared if she had a little Hebrew blood in her, as if I would care. And we'll help protect her. But he actually said he wouldn't help her because she's part Jewish. And he wouldn't help her when he found out. The Florida human traffickers, this one guy, he was all Jewish. The one where they got a lot of the people in Summit County that were working with that Russian. He adopted one of the human traffickers' children. He said some of those men that worked for him came in and they were speaking another language. And because he was born out of country and he's Jewish, he understood them. And he said something back to him, said, "How did you know what we said?" Then they realized it and they were so cruel to him, it was ridiculous. And he's like, they really hate Jewish people. I said, oh, I know that. Now, I'm only 1/6 Hebrew, Jewish. My dad was German Jew. My mom was French and Indian. And Scott and Irish. I'm only 1/6. We're Christians. And been Christians for generations. It's just genetics where it come from. But those people would yell Jewish slang at me. That stupid little Jewish girl thinks she can tell on us. That stinking little Hebrew girl thinks she can tell them what we're doing. Yes. Costs me a lot, but yes. Got human trafficked, got raped and tortured. Yes. That's how you stop them. You have to have enough courage to tell them.